Hello, Lifeguard Manj. Well, today we're at the beach. Last week we were at a pool and we talked about reach and throw, don't go. And the week before that, we talked about think, don't sink. So that was all like pool stuff and reach and throw, don't go in case your friend's in trouble, or reach or think, don't sink in case you're in trouble. But now we're at the beach and we're going to use those tools if you're ever in trouble at the beach too. So stay tuned. I just got to the beach. It's about 5 o'clock. The lifeguards are still on duty, and that's a good thing because you never want to swim without a lifeguard. At Lifeguard Manchback, we are in the lifeguard shack. And before I go out to be a lifeguard, or for you, little champions, you want to put on sunscreen. So get the sunscreen on before you go to the beach. That's important. Get it all over you. Don't get it in your eyes. So sunscreen, and make sure you have water at the beach. Want to stay hydrated, especially on hot days. So water, sunscreen. First thing I want you to do is, make sure you know where to swim. So gotta look for the flags. That's a red flag. So red flag means don't swim. So nobody is swimming out that way. Okay, but if you look this way, you see a green flag and a yellow flag. So the swimming is between the green flags. So there's a green flag here, and there's a yellow flag, and there's a green flag all the way down the beach, and the lifeguards are in the middle of it. So you swim between the green flags. The yellow flag means bodyboarding. When you put your blanket down at the beach with your parents, just make sure that you put it in a spot where the tide doesn't come in and ruin your blanket, or maybe have electronics. So make sure you know what the tide is doing. You can ask the lifeguards, they always know what the tide is doing at the beach. And make sure you have it in a good spot. And also know where you are. Know where you're sitting, just in case you go swimming or you go for a walk and then you don't know where you are. If you do get lost, what do you need to do? You need to go to the lifeguard stand. Go to the lifeguard stand and they will help you find your parents. So, and this is my friend Tommy and my friend,
what's up, class?
Joey. And Joey and Tommy are up here watching the water. And look, they both have their whistles on. Can you guys show them your whistles? A lifeguard always has a whistle on. That's so important for them to have a whistle on. That means we could communicate to each other up on the stand. Equipment that we have in here. We have surfboards. We have rescue boards. We have a Cobra kayak. We have an ocean rescue line. We have umbrellas to keep us from the sun, from getting too much sun. We have bodyboards. So these are all things that we use. We use for rescues. We use for practice and training. Swim with a buddy. If you have a buddy, swim with a buddy. If you come with your parents and you don't have a buddy, just make sure you swim right in front of the lifeguard. A wave comes and knocks you down and it pulls you out. Well, and you're trying to get back in. And you're having a little trouble getting back in. So remember what I said about think, don't sink. That means try to swim in if you can, float, or tread water. And if you're having a lot of trouble, just wave to the lifeguards and they'll come out and get you. But you always got to swim near a lifeguard. So you can use that tool in the ocean of think, don't sink. There's some people playing over there. They're kind of up to their knees in the water. And that's a good spot to start. If you want to go out further, you can, but just know your limits. If you're not sure of your limits, just take one step at a time. And never dive into the ocean, okay? I want you to remember that too. Don't dive into the ocean. Walk in, because you never know if it's shallow a little further out than where those kids are at. Say you're a really good swimmer and you're swimming out and you don't even need to touch the bottom, and you are in the ocean and you're having fun with the waves, and all of a sudden you find yourself getting pushed away from the beach. Okay, and you start swimming in, but you keep going away from the beach. That might be a riptide. If you're ever caught in a riptide, I want you to remember, think, don't sink, okay? So try to swim out of a riptide. And when you swim out of a riptide, what you want to do is swim sideways to the shore, a couple of feet, maybe about 5-10 feet, and then swim in. So you swim sideways to the shore and then in. If that doesn't work, float and try it again. If you're getting tired, once again, just wave to the lifeguards, wave to us, and we'll come get you. That we use to go save kids or people or anyone that's in the water. We put that around us, we go out, and we let the people grab onto the buoys. And if you remember when we were talking about reach and throw, don't go last week, see, We use buoys so that people who are in trouble grab the buoy and not us, and then we just pull them in. Really far out in the ocean, we might even use one of these. It's a line, and we'll swim out with that, and somebody will tow me back in or tow a lifeguard back in with our person who needs to be rescued. For rescues, but this is more for training. Once in a while we have used the boat for rescues, but it has to be a rescue that's far out in the ocean. One other thing I want to remind you about is that if you're swimming with a buddy or people and you see somebody else in trouble, remember what we talked about how people will see you not as their friend, but as somebody is floating and they're not. So in that situation, what you want to do once again is don't actually try to help somebody in. You could stay with them and tell them to float, but don't try to like grab somebody and try to pull them in. Expect maybe if it's a little kid you could do that, but not as a bigger person or somebody your size. It's going to be really difficult for you to do that. Once again, you just wave to the lifeguard, but always remember to swim between the flags and swim near a lifeguard.